keyboards are crying, and the guitars are whining. Somebody's got the blues in Texas. I'm pretty sure Judge Fleischer probably gave it to them. And their name just might be Chuck. Welcome to the Fleischer Forum. Got about an hour and a half of Fleischer coming ahead. Get ready. Coming at you. Welcome back, Jenny. All right, I'm not gonna wait for the song to finish. What do you say we go ahead and get started? Got about 20 of us here. Hit the like button. Subscribe. I'm gonna get this party started. All right, do it.
All right, guys, let's roll, nerds. Ready? Hey, good morning.
First, it's page 13. So Ray, William, come on up.
Good morning, Ken. Good morning. How are you? Been a while.
I'm away, fix it.
Okay. You are William Bradley Sur.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Mrs. Sur, you're charged with assault, bodily injury. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Okay. On October 25th, 2024, officers were dispatched to a disturbance at a residence in Harris County, Texas. The officer made contact with the complainant, who stated he observed the defendant come into the location appearing intoxicated. The complainant stated he and the defendant got into an argument because the defendant did not like that the complainant had more employees working in the kitchen than the defendant wanted. The complainant stated he went back to work, was turning his back towards the defendant, and the defendant struck him on the right side of his head on the ear with a closed fist, causing pain. The complainant stated the defendant grabbed him around his shoulders and again struck the complainant with a closed fist on the right side of the head and neck, causing pain. Officer made contact with the defendant. The defendant stated he and the complainant got into an argument. The complainant stuck his finger in the defendant's face, contacting the defendant's nose, and the defendant struck the complainant with a closed fist. The officer observed red bruising on the complainant's neck and right ear. HFD observed raised contusion on the back of the complainant's head.
You said alcohol was a factor in this, right? He was drunk or the other?
The defendant appeared intoxicated.
Did they go, he went to an actual restaurant? Is that what he did?
They work at the same restaurant, Your Honor, or worked at the same
Okay,
restaurant.
what kind of work do you do at the restaurant?
Restaurant, sir, Director of Operations.
Okay, are you still employed there?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, well, because what I was gonna do, one of the conditions that I was gonna do was no contact and no going back, because I just don't want you guys to run into each other. I don't want more bad blood. You know, you got out of jail, we gave you a PR bond. You're not gonna get another one. My only concern is public safety, and I'm gonna do everything to protect every single person. You know, the conditions that I'm going to place on you now, I don't want you consuming alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, I'm going to put you in jail. No more PR bonds, no more contact with this person, and no more weapons. As long as you can abide by these conditions, you and I will be fine. Otherwise, there's only one place to put you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All we want you to do is a little self-control. Everyone you see back there now, it's because they have no self-control. Do you understand? All right. Now you've got a lawyer. I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with him and he'll tell you when you have to come back to court. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you, likewise, we'll issue a warrant for your arrest. Anything you guys like to add?
We spoke to the complaining witness yesterday, Judge. He was taken to the hospital. He stayed there he was at Memorial Hermann. He had very severe injuries. He sustained a concussion as far as I know. I've requested the medical records. He has sent photos and he sent me the surveillance footage already. So I witnessed it on video, the act happening. Just wanted you to be aware.
Just, you know, we want to make sure that nothing further happens. You know, we have a myriad of other things, ankle monitors that I don't want to do that at this point. I trust that there won't be any more issues. Just above all else, no alcohol, no dope. That's all we're asking. Okay. Okay. We'll have you meet with Victoria to sign a reset. After that, you'll meet with Fleischer to get your pretrial bond conditions. And after that, you guys will be free to go. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Please.
All right, Judge, next is page 10. Legaspi, come on up.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Hey,
How's it going?
been a while. How are you? What's
Doing all right.
new?
Yes. It's gas.
I'm right. Thanks. Good morning, Mr. McCaskey. So you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. Mireles picked up a new case.
Yeah, and he came in, checked in and left saying he had other places to go.
What?
I warned him that if he left, that more than likely a warrant will be issued for his arrest.
Next time,
I can't, because I'm on my technical. That's part of the problem.
all right.
But I agree.
Mr. McCaskey, we're gonna do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. Just please don't say it. Okay.
October 26th, officer was dispatched to a major crash in Harris County, Texas. Upon arrival, the officer observed the defendant sitting in the driver's seat of his motor vehicle with his keys in his lap and with an odor of an alcoholic beverage. The defendant stated he drank prior to driving. Standard field sobriety tests were performed. HGN 4 out of 6, walk and turn 4 out of 8, one leg stand 3 out of 4. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to breath, but the defendant was unable to do the test. A blood warrant was then signed and executed.
It was really quick. So where was he?
So it was a major crash in Harris County, Texas, specifically on 2201 Southwest Freeway.
Okay, and then what?
The officer arrived and he was in his driver's seat and the officer observed his keys in his lap and then he observed an odor of alcoholic beverage.
Just an odor. Anything
odor.
else?
And then the defendant made a statement that he drank prior to driving.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Leads you to believe that he's drunk. We have an accident, I get it, but there's just an odor of alcohol. There's nothing, no slurred speech, no bloodshot eyes, just an odor.
Yes, sir. All that was written was the odor was observed and then the statement made about him drinking.
McCaskey, I have an accident. All I have is an odor of alcohol. What can you, other than the accident, what can you lead me to believe that he's drunk or intoxicated?
The defendant stated he drank prior to driving.
We don't know how many, we don't know how much, we don't know when it was happened.
Well, Judge, I don't think that's necessary to provide probable cause for the case. He's admitting to drinking, he's got odor of alcohol in the breath, and the accident itself is evidence of intoxication, Judge. All of that, in our opinion, is enough for probable cause.
I don't think so. I mean, usually there's a lot more than just that. An odor, we don't have anything else. I don't know when, I don't know how many, I don't know how strong it is, just an odor.
Not every case has extrapolation or admissions of how many, Judge.
I understand.
It's just
I understand, Michael, but I need just a little bit more than just an odor and an accident.
An admission to drinking, Judge?
Okay, we don't know when. The officer can't do any more questions than that. Okay, when did you do it? How many did you have? Did you have anything to eat?
Understood.
Okay, all right, no, I'm gonna find no probable cause, Mr. McGaskey. It's very possible if they take it to a grand jury and indict it, but so I would be on the lookout, number one. Number two, you know how many accidents and death we have every day due to alcohol and getting into a car? I'm gonna find no probable cause. Just take a seat for a moment.
Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Jeff.
Each one, a JJ. Okay, he's waiting for his attorney.
Who is it?
Page one, top of page one.
I mean, we'll give you a little bit of time. We're not gonna wait long though. So, okay, take
Okay,
a seat.
so the
Not a
next
problem.
one, Judge, is. Oh, Roberto, we can do the Spanish one. Page 5, De Leon.
Good morning, Judge.
Morning, how are you? Roberto, thanks for coming. Are you Jose De Leon?
Yes, José de León.
Mr. De Leon, you're charged with two cases. You're charged with assault of a family member. You were also charged with interference with the emergency request for assistance. On both of those cases, you were facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine.
Un año en la cárcel hasta
We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you,
tener
sir.
abogado presente. Si no puedes tener un abogado
Yes,
tú, aquí te ponen un abogado.
The complainant and the defendant are married.
Ustedes
On
también están
October
casados.
27th,
Que ahora ustedes están
2024,
casados.
The officer was dispatched to a
Los
disturbance in
oficiales
Harris County,
mandaron
Texas.
a un lugar donde
The
había
complainant and the
problemas.
defendant were driving home from McDonald's.
Estaban ustedes,
and were in a verbal
estaban,
argument.
¿cómo se llama? Yendo
The
del
complainant
McDonald's
stated
y
she
hubo
told the
un
defendant that she
argumento
was
entre los
leaving.
dos.
So the defendant then grabbed their daughter, and the
Entonces,
defendant
la
approached the
persona que
driver's
se
side of the
sacó
truck and
agarró,
opened the
¿cómo se
door.
llama?
The defendant
Los
then
niños,
grabbed the
por favor.
complainant's left arm and hit her twice on the arm with an open hand, causing pain.
Y causándole, ¿cómo se
The
llama?
complainant stated that she
dolor.
told the defendant
La
she was
persona
calling
le dice
911.
que usted le dijo que iba a
The
llamar
defendant then
911,
grabbed her phone,
y usted
threw
le
it on the
agarró el
ground,
teléfono, lo
breaking
tiró
her
al
phone.
suelo y le quebró el teléfono.
Did you say the hit on the arm hurt?
Yes, Your Honor, caused pain.
Okay. Mr. De Leon, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to
Tuvo
go
causa
forward with your
probable para
case.
su arresto.
Morgan, have you had any contact with the CW in this case? Do you know whether she wants to have contact with him or not?
So, Judge, this is a joint because I don't believe that a RIF has been conducted. It looks like a protective order interviews.
Was or was?
It was.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
I believe she does want contact.
Well,
I want to know, until I know with certainty, I'm going to order no contact, If you guys are able to do it, great. So De Leon, tell me, are you a United States citizen?
Ciudadano americano. Presidente. President.
I don't know if you
Or not, and quite frankly, it doesn't matter to me, but you need to understand that if you're not in this country with permission and you go to jail and immigration finds you, they're going to put an immigration detainer on you and you will be stuck in custody until these cases are over with. And then you will be shipped off to immigration where you will wait for another. Come on up. So have you heard PC yet or no?
No.
Okay, so you want to hear it?
Yes.
Okay, do you mind reading it again, please?
No problem. So the complainant and the defendant are married, and on October 27th,
I'm not his counsel. I'm sorry. I'm
Oh.
counsel for Yosnel.
That's what you told me you were his attorney.
No, for Yosnel Lopez. He was waiting in the hall for me. I'm sorry.
You called a jet day up, didn't you?
Yes, but he
Okay.
wants
Oh.
for his attorney, so-
Roll call.
I apologize, Your Honor.
It's okay, not a problem.
Sorry, no, I don't have to-
Damn, where were we?
Right. Page.
No, I know.
Immigration.
If you're not in this country with permission and you go to jail, you will be stuck in custody and then shipped off to immigration. I'm putting bond conditions on you now. If you violate these conditions, I'm going to put you in jail You will not get any more PR bonds. A protective order has been issued in this case. I would suggest that you get to know it, because if you violate the protective order, the state can and will file additional cases against you. And then things will really go sideways. I'm ordering you not to have contact with the complaining witness in this case and not to be in possession of any weapons. Do you understand?
¿Entiendes? ¿Sí o no? Yes.
Any alcohol, Alex?
I don't see the allegations.
No? Okay. We are going to reset your case to give you time to hire lawyers. So I'm going to first have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, we will have you take a seat in the jury box. We will have you sign the bond conditions. And after that, we will get you out of here. When you come back, please have a lawyer. That way, sign a reset and then to the jury.
All right, Judge, the next one is Delgado, case 6. Yes.
Speak English.
Español.
I'll give you the case number when we're done.
Okay. Yo te voy a decir todo, ¿ok? Sí, señor. En español te voy a decir todo.
Ramon Jesus Delgado Cáceres.
Señor, Cáceres. Yes, sir.
You are charged with discharging a firearm in the metropolitan area. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you.
Yes, Judge. On October 25th, 2024, the officer was dispatched to a discharge of a firearm in Harris County, Texas. The officer made contact with the first witness via phone, who stated the defendant was in front of the officer's patrol vehicle by a gray car and provided a description of the defendant. The officer observed the defendant who matched the description, and the defendant was detained, and the officer conducted a search. The officer found no weapons, and the defendant gave verbal permission to search the motor vehicle, where the officer also found no weapons. The officer checked the apartment parking lot around the defendant's vehicle and found 8 .40 caliber fired cartridges and 9 9mm fired cartridges. The first witness stated the defendant was the shooter, and that she was walking towards the dumpster when she observed the defendant standing next to the trunk of his motor vehicle and shoot the gun in the air. The first witness stated she heard approximately 5 shots, and it appeared to be a small handgun. The witness stated on her way home, she heard approximately 5 more shots, and the second witness observed the defendant arguing with other parties, expose the firearm, and shoot 5 to 7 times. The second witness confronted the defendant and observed the defendant grab a black box where he placed the firearm and hid it inside his apartment.
Mr. Delgado Cáceres, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Can you run an NCIC search on this gentleman to see if he has any prior criminal history? And Michael, we used to have an order circulating where we could have them relinquish the guns and take them from. Have you seen that? It's been a while. But yeah, we could have them turn them in or have them take it into like a sheriff. There's something that we can do. I'd like to look into that. So, this kind of scares me. He's got 2 different guns. He's firing at a different occasion. People see it.
I'll take a look.
Mr. Delgado, tell me, what is your immigration status? Are you in this country with or without permission?
In process of being a resident.
Estoy en trámite del permiso. En trámite del permiso.
Ya ¿estás con permiso aquí? Sí. I am with the permit over here. I am with the permit.
¿No se venció?
¿No se venció?
Yo estoy en proceso de trámite de los permisos.
I am in the process of.
You need to understand, if there's any problem with your paperwork and you go to jail and immigration finds you, they're going to put a detainer on you and you will be stuck like Chuck in custody until these cases are over with and then shipped off to immigration. Do you understand?
No, yo estoy legal con migración.
I want you to understand that it doesn't matter to me. In immigration, if you don't have every single I dotted, every single T crossed, they're going to put a detainer on you.
Atención
And
a
I'm going to
usted.
tell you now, if I
Vamos a
find that
verificar.
you're a danger to my public, I'm going to make your bond extremely high.
Vamos a que usted
Do you understand?
tenga una fianza,
When
va a
you
ser-
shoot a gun, what goes up must come down. And
Eso
when you shoot
va
it
para
down,
arriba, va para
it
abajo.
may ricochet. And if it hits someone and it kills them,
Simón,
who gets charged with murder?
¿y quién va a estar acusado de muerte? Ok.
I'm ordering you not to be in possession of any weapons,
Bueno, a ti
and I'm
no
going
tener en
to
posesión
test you for drugs and alcohol
de
as
fuego.
well. I'm ordering you not
Alcohol.
to consume any alcohol, any illegal drugs at all. If I find that you're using, if I find that you're in possession of a weapon,
Cuando-
I will put you in jail. As it stands now, I'm going to see about having you relinquish those guns to a sheriff's office. Do you understand?
Hay que entregarle esas armas a la oficina de sheriff. No, entiende, no, I don't have no weapons.
For now, I'm going to have you sign a reset with Victoria, and then I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box while we figure out how to do
Traigo los
this.
documentos acá y de que te
Do not leave, otherwise I will issue a warrant for your arrest.
vayas, porque te vas, te vamos a capturar. No. Ok, vete para acá.
All right, good. Next is page 16.
I'm trying to get all the Spanish speakers now. Do you have a Spanish one? Okay, she has a Spanish one. Okay, all right. Sorry, I would have done it first. Had I known, I would have done it first.
She came in after just.
You said Villalobos?
Yes, Judge, page 16.
Good morning, Mr. Villalobos.
Ya vieron
Mr. Villalobos, you're charged with driving while intoxicated, second offense.
el carro la
You
segunda
are
vez.
facing up to a year in jail and or a
En la cárcel,
$4,000
ya
fine.
$40,000 de multa pueden darte.
We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On October 25th, 2024, the officer conducted a traffic stop on the defendant's motor vehicle. After observing it travel at a high rate of speed, 71 miles per hour in a 35 mile per hour zone, while driving northbound on Hillcroft Avenue. Upon contact with the defendant, who was the sole occupant and driver of the motor vehicle, the officer observed him to have glossy eyes, slurred speech, and poor balance. The defendant admitted to drinking prior to operating the motor vehicle. Standard field sobriety tests were administered. HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 5 out of 8, one leg stand 2 out of 4. The DIC was red, and the defendant consented to breath. The results were 0.152 and 0.158.
Mr. Villalobos, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Are you a United States citizen?
Ciudadano americano? No.
Are you in this country with or without permission?
De este país con permiso, sin permiso. Sin permiso. Without.
What happens if you go to jail?
Eso si te vas a la cárcel.
No sé, me puede dar migración.
I don't know. Immigration can come.
Ah, that's what I'm trying to impart to you. If you go to jail and immigration finds you, you will spend a considerable amount of time in there waiting first to finish this case and then get shipped off to immigration where you will sit for another 6 to 9 months waiting for them to do whatever they're going to do. If you do not want that to happen, follow the bond conditions I put on you now. Because if you violate it and you become a danger to my public, I'm only going to put you in one place. You do not have a Texas driver license, do you?
It's not young.
You're not allowed to drive. You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising me you're not going to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. You cannot justify getting in a car for any reason whatsoever. Because it's a second offense, I'm ordering you to obtain a handheld portable interlock device that you're going to take with you to prove to me that you're not consuming alcohol. If you consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or if you drive, you will go to jail. No more PR bonds for you. Do you understand?
¿Eres todo lo que te dije? ¿Sí o no?
Yes.
Yes.
This is the only warning that you will get from me, so I hope that you heed it. Because if not, there's only one place.
No, si no lo compro, pues ya se van a hacer.
Your Honor, would there be any consideration in waiving the portable device fees?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
To me, money doesn't matter. What matters is how you act. To me, money doesn't matter. My only consideration is how you act when you're out there in the free world. If you act like a fool, then we'll take the free world away from you. You act like a child, I'll put you over my knee and I'll spank you like a little child, but I'll do it with a bunch of jail time. A week. Okay, so Mr. Villalobos, I will waive your appearance so you don't have to waste your time coming to court. But you must stay in touch with counsel. They will tell you when you have to come back to court. If they tell me that they can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. I'm not asking much from you. Just don't drive, don't use, and stay in contact, and don't pick up any new cases. I'm gonna have you swear to us here that you're not gonna drive. I'll get you to Victoria Center reset. You'll get with Fleischer for your bond conditions, and after that, you're free to go. Okay, thanks, guys.
Figueroa.
Lisa, I'm trying to blow through the Spanish speakers. Oh, you have one?
Yes, but he speaks English. Yeah, we're done with Spanish.
Oh, we're done? Okay, great.
I'm speaking.
After we're done. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
That's it.
Page 7.
It's really great to see you.
Great to see you too. I'm good. How are you, Judge? I know. How are you doing?
Wonderful.
Good.
Who do we have here?
Mr. Figueroa, Javier Figueroa. It's a first DWI, first offense of any kind.
Morning, Mr. Figueroa.
Good morning, sir.
Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir.
On October 24th, 2024, officers were dispatched to a major crash in the 14300 block of White Heather Drive, where the defendant was involved in a single car accident. The officer observed the defendant in the front driver's seat of the motor vehicle when they arrived on scene to provide assistance. Upon contact with the defendant, the officer detected an odor of an alcoholic beverage, and the defendant admitted to drinking 7 12-ounce cans of Modelo. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted, HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 4 out of 8, one leg stand 2 out of 4. The DIC was red and the defendant consented to breath. The results were 0.10 and 0.09.
What did you say the stop was for? I zoned out.
It was a
Single
one
vehicle crash.
single car accident.
All right, Mr. Figueroa, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license?
It's right now, it's expired, but I'm working on it. I got an appointment next Friday.
Don't have a license.
It's expired. It was expired.
Then I'm ordering you
Yes.
not to drive. You're not allowed to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. I don't care if there's a burning building and you have to save 50 kittens. If you don't have a license and liability insurance, do not drive. There's no quicker way to get to jail than to drive in violation of this. Do you understand? I'm telling you now, nothing chaps my poca more than when you drive without a license and insurance. Don't do it. I'm also ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using alcohol or drugs, likewise, I'm going to put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. I absolutely love her to death, but I don't care however much I love her. You start acting a fool, I'm going to put you in jail in a heartbeat, in a moment's notice. Do you understand? If you are somehow able to get your license, come back to me, show me that you have your license, show me that you have insurance, and we will take this off. But until that point, do not drive. You understand? I will have you sign this affidavit, promising us you're not going to drive. I'll get you to Victoria to sign a reset. I'll get you to Felicia to sign bond conditions, then you guys are out of here. I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with Ms. Strauss, and she will tell you when you have to come back to court. If she tells me that she can't get a hold of you, only one thing's going to happen. Do you understand? Okay, guys, thanks. That way.
See you.
You too.
All right, Judge, page 1. Ajete.
All right. Are you Yosniel Lopez? Is it Ajete? All right, sir, you're charged with liquor sale without a permit.
el licor sin
You are
permiso.
facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Yes, Judge. On October 25th, 2024, the officer conducted a vice investigation at a bar known as Poppy's in Harris County, Texas. The officer received a tip that the bar was operating illegally by selling alcohol without a permit, as well as selling during prohibited hours. The officer observed the defendant serving drinks behind the bar sometime after 2:30 a.m. The officer was able to purchase a White Claw from the defendant, and the officer verified on the TABC website that the location did not have a permit to sell liquor.
No tiene permiso para vender licor.
He just had one dismissed as well.
Yes, Judge.
Same place?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Arquette, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I need to put conditions on him not to do this anymore. What is your immigration status? Are you in this country with or without permission?
Ilegalmente. I am a U.S. citizen.
You're
I
a
am a
United
US
States
citizen.
citizen. I am ordering you now not to work in any bar whatsoever. I'm ordering you not to work in any establishment where 50% or more of liquor sales are the primary purpose of the establishment. Do you understand?
Yes.
You just had one dismissed and now you're back, not 4 months later. If I find that you do this again, I'm going to put you in jail and I'm going to make your bond high. Do you understand?
Yes.
This means no bars, nightclubs, anything of this nature where 50% or more alcohol is sold. Do you understand? If I find that you do, I'm going to put you in jail. I will not give you any more PR bonds and I'm going to make it high.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to have you sign a receipt of Victoria. After that, we'll have you take your seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it. And after that, you'll be free to go. Thanks, counsel. Can you file that, guys, please?
If I may, I have a hearing via Zoom at 10 o'clock.
You're free to go. You're done. We just need you to get a date for your next court date and then you're free to go. Okay? Yes, ma'am. Thank you for coming.
All right, Judge, next is page 8, Great House. Come on up. Page 8.
Yeah. Are you Jeffrey or Joe Greathouse?
Sir.
Mr. Greathouse, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. So he also has an evading arrest in a motor vehicle and an FSRA.
Yes, Judge.
Dead body?
No, Judge.
Okay.
Now it's charged over.
All right.
Yes, Judge. The officer attempted to initiate a traffic stop in Harris County, Texas, after observing the defendant driving a blue Corvette on the wrong side of the road. The officer could clearly see that the defendant was in the driver's seat and the witness, a female, was in the passenger seat. The defendant refuses to stop and the officer observed the defendant to run 3 stop signs. The officer lost sight of the defendant, but heard over the radio that a blue Corvette hit a cyclist 2 lights ahead of where the officer lost sight of the defendant. The witness informed the officers that the defendant lost control of his car, hit a pole, and then hit the complainant on her bicycle. The witness stated the defendant left the scene after hitting the complainant. The officers shortly thereafter located the defendant's vehicle and conducted a felony traffic stop. At this point, the defendant was in the passenger seat while the female witness was in the driver's seat. A DWI investigation began after the officers observed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, slurred speech, and glossy eyes from the defendant. The defendant refused all SFSTs and refused a breath sample. A search warrant was signed and executed.
Intoxication assault?
I mean, this is a fairly recent case, Judge, so we don't have any like, medical records or anything back, but I've been in contact with BCD about potentially.
What's the condition of the complaining witness? Do we know?
What I believe, just from what we have, just from I think the DMs, is that she has a broken leg and that I know she was transported to Memorial Hermann, but that's all we have so far.
Mr. Greathouse, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you now not to drive at all. You will be signing an affidavit with me, promising me you're not going to drive. I don't care what is going on in your life. I don't care if Jesus comes down and needs a ride to church. You drive. And every time you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You will be facing 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you get into a car and drive. Do you understand? I'm also ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to randomly test you. In fact, I'm going to send you now for a drug test because I want to know what, if anything, is in your system. Felicia, I'd like to send them now. If you fail to go take a drug test, if you fail to come back, I'm going to make your bond extremely high. Do you understand? Prior to you leaving now, though, you will be promising me that you're not going to drive for any reason. I am also going to put a scram ankle monitor on your leg so I know that you're not consuming alcohol. If I find that you consume alcohol and I don't care what the source is, then likewise you will go to jail. Do you know that every single day in Houston, in Harris County, someone dies from an alcohol-related collision? Every single day, someone dies in our county because of alcohol. It is a sick, a disgustingly sick and sobering statistic. Every day, someone dies. I don't want you to say anything, but I want you to understand that I will do everything in my power. Every resource that I have, I will use at my disposal to prevent anyone from dying under my watch. And if that means putting you in jail and making your bond $500,000, I will do it in a heartbeat. All I'm asking you to do are several things. Don't drive and don't use. Do you understand? Okay, I want to send it for a test now, and then we'll have him come right back, and then we'll finish with bond conditions.
And how many days for this round?
Today. I'm going to have you swear to us that you're not going to drive, and then we'll send you for the test right now.
Harris?
Oh, I want to order a guardian interlock as well. That way, at least DPS has notice if he's in a car driving. He's not supposed to be.
Harris? Page 8. Go ahead and sign for your receipt, please.
Vic,
Page 8, Harris?
thanks. Good morning, Mr. Harris.
Morning, how you doing, Your Honor?
Sir, you're charged with resisting arrest. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
On October 26, 2024, the officer was dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas, in response to a suspicious person. The complainant stated that someone had been beating on his door for 15 minutes. While the officers were speaking to the complainant pointed out the defendant as the person who had been knocking. The complainant had a ring camera to show the defendant was the person knocking on the door. The defendant admitted to being intoxicated, and the officer advised the defendant to go home and stop bothering the complainant. The officer left, but shortly after, the complainant called back, stating the defendant was damaging property in the bed of the complainant's truck. The officer returned and attempted to detain the complainant, or attempted to detain the defendant. While the officers were reaching for the defendant's wrist, the defendant yanked his arms back twice away from the officer. The defendant was being placed under arrest for public intoxication.
Now's not the time. Okay, you will get the opportunity to fight the case. Just now's not the time. I've got a bunch of DAs here. Anything you say, they're going to use it against you. It's just not the time. Mr. Harris, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, I'm going to lock you up. I'm not asking much. I'm also ordering you not to go back to this place. Do you understand? What do you do for a living, sir? What do you do for a living?
What I do for a living, nothing as of right now.
How old are you?
23.
You graduate from high school?
I did, sir.
Okay, so what are you going to do with the rest of your life?
Looking for a job. I had just currently moved to a new address, so I'm looking in the area for a job.
When is the last time you've had a job?
The end of May, beginning June.
Which year?
This year. I was at Pilot gas station. I was a cashier and a slash field attendant.
What'd you start?
I had moved. Like I said, I moved it into a different address.
So how are you getting money now? Who do you live with?
My mom and my stepfather.
It's time for you to start working.
Of course.
Too much time on your hands, you're becoming self-destructive. This is not a good way to go through life, Mr. Harris. You know, you got no job, you got no money, you got no prospects. The older you get, the harder life becomes. If you don't have a job, if you ain't got no knowledge, you'll go nowhere in life, penniless when you're 50. That's not a way to go through life. So I want you to get a full-time job. I'm making that a condition of your bond. You understand?
Yes, sir. I do have footage of me not resisting. It's on my aunt's security camera.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just going to put that out
I'm
there.
going to appoint your lawyer today. My only concern is that you make something of yourself, Mr. Harris.
Of course, of course.
One of those statistically just nothing bums that have nothing.
I plan on going to college as well, so I will do something with my life.
Your lawyer today. I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks, and I want to see what you've done to get a job. If you've done nothing, it's not going to go well between us. Do you understand? Okay. Let me see if I have an application. I need you to fill out an application for me. Deputy's going to give you an application for an appointed lawyer. I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset, and then I'm going to have you take your seat in the jury box. Okay? All right.
Johnson. Judge, is that pretrial bond conditions or?
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause I don't want him using.
All right, go ahead and sign.
Are you Jessica Johnson? Ms. Johnson, you're charged with terroristic threat of a family or a household member. That kicks it up to a Class A misdemeanor. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you.
Yes, Judge. On October 25th, 2024, the officer was dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas, in reference to a terroristic threat. The officer made contact with the complainant. The complainant stated he argued with the defendant, his girlfriend, over the defendant video chatting with a male acquaintance, naked and masturbating. The complainant woke up to the defendant again, naked and masturbating to the same male, and asked the defendant if she wanted to have sex. The defendant said no and began to argue with the complainant for asking too much. The defendant stated she would hurt herself, punch the complainant, then call the officer if he were to call the officer first. The complainant drove the defendant to a gas station, dropped her off, and later received a message on social media from the defendant with a picture of the license plate, a picture of the complainant, and a message that the complainant better lock his door and my homie lives nearby, he gonna pick me up. The officer made contact with the defendant. The defendant stated she did not make any threats, and the complainant made domestic threats against her. The defendant consented to search of her phone, and the officer located the messages to the complainant, stating to lock his doors and images of the complainant's face and license plate.
What is the threat? Sends a picture of a license plate.
And of his face saying he better lock his door, and then the message that her homie lived nearby. And then she had previously stated that she would punch the complainant.
Which is the, I mean,
I'll see how it was pled, Your Honor.
says here that heretofore on or about October 25th, threatened to commit an offense involving violence, namely an assault upon a person with the intent to place complainant in imminent serious bodily injury. It has to be on October 25th. Look at October 25th, what happened on that day?
Yes, Your Honor. On that day, all that we have is that prior to being dropped off the gas station, she told the complainant that she would punch him. And then he dropped her off at the gas station, and then she sent him the pictures of himself, his license plate, and said he better lock his door.
And your doesn't
That's-
work like that. You can't
Yes,
just piggyback. There's
Yes,
no
Judge.
bootstrapping. It's,
I believe
I would
it,
argue that the punching, telling him that she's going to punch him in the face would have been the terrorist.
when was that?
it was the same day on October 25th.
So they got into an argument at the house, and then he was driving her to the gas station. And I think during the drive, she said that she was going to punch him in the face.
And then that's when he dropped her off, and then he later got the messages. But there was that initial threat of being punched.
Right.
It says that in the OR that
In the DMs that the complainant stated that she would, or the defendant stated she would punch him. Yes, that's what was stated in the DMs. That's the threat of violence in the DMs that we have.
Ms. Johnson, I'm going to find probable cause for now. Do you have a lawyer? Okay, what do you do with yourself these days? Are you working?
I'm from Ohio. I was just here visiting a friend and he wanted more.
Let's do this. I'm going to today so that you guys can talk and figure out what the dynamic is, because maybe there's more to it that I'm not seeing. For now, I'm going to order you not to have contact with this person and not to be in possession of weapons. I'm going to get you a lawyer. You guys talk about this, and then we'll see where it goes. Okay. So for now, I'm going to have you sign a wreath of Victoria. I'll just have you take a seat momentarily in the jury box. I'll have you speak to someone here momentarily, and then we'll go forward. Okay.
Thank you.
Please, ma'am. No, I've got one.
Romero. Come on up. Page
Can you
11.
file no contact and no weapons?
Yes, Judge.
Are you Abraham Romero?
Sir.
Mr. Romero, you're charged of driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes. On October 27th, 2024, the officer was dispatched to a minor accident in Harris County, Texas. The accident was a single vehicle accident running over a fence, and upon arrival, the officer observed the defendant's motor vehicle to be running and on, saw smoke coming from the hood of the vehicle, and observed damage to a metal fence of the property. Upon contact with the defendant, who was the sole occupant and driver of the motor vehicle, the officer observed the defendant to have slurred speech, bloodshot eyes, an odor of an alcoholic beverage, and noticed him to be unsteady on his feet and having a hard time maintaining balance. The officer also observed Corona bottles in plain view on the front passenger floorboard. The defendant admitted to drinking and to being drunk. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. HGN 6 out of 6. One leg stand and walk and turn could not be completed due to safety concerns. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to breath. The results were 0.193 and 0.191.
Residents, I see if he has any prior DWIs, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Romero, is it Romero or Romero?
Sir.
With an O? We need to do the name change, please. It should be Romero, not Romero. I've never met a Romero. Mr. Romero, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license? Do you have valid liability insurance in your name?
Sir.
You have car insurance?
Sir.
I'm ordering you, can you run his license also, Alex?
Yes, Your Honor, and no prior DWIs.
Okay. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I will randomly test you. If I find that you're using, I'm going to put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bombs. What do you do for a living, Mr. Romero?
I work at IO Bush, sir. The airport of Bush,
Okay, doing what?
a warehouse agent,
How much money do you make a month?
$15 an hour.
Who do you live with?
My parents.
We're going to give you time to hire a lawyer. You need to get on it quick. There's a lot of timing requirements with the DWIs. Don't sit and wait a month or two because you're only hurting yourself. You need to get on it quick. I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. We're going to get you out of here to hire a lawyer. After that, you'll meet with Fleischer for your bond conditions. And then after that, you'll be free to go. Beware. Don't use alcohol. Don't use any illegal drugs. Do you understand?
Sure.
Okay, buddy. Please.
Your Honor, there were no records found for the driver's license of this defendant in our system. So
Do you have a Texas driver license?
Shafi, come on up.
Okay.
Page 13 and 14, Shafi.
Are you Tariq Shafi?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Shafi, you're charged with two cases. You're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're also charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. On the gun case, you're facing up to a year and or a $4,000 fine. On your DWI, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
on October 26, 2024, the officer was dispatched to a possible DWI with a follower. Upon arrival, the officer conducted a traffic stop on the defendant's motor vehicle due to a reasonable suspicion of driving while intoxicated on West M Houston Tollway in Harris County, Texas. The follower observed the defendant's motor vehicle swerving in and out of its lanes on the ramp to West M Houston Tollway and while on the main lines, as well as strike an unknown passing motor vehicle. Upon contact with the defendant, the officer observed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, red bloodshot eyes, and saw the defendant swaying while standing and walking. The defendant admitted to drinking and to having a holstered firearm, a Glock 22 on his right hip. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted, HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 6 out of 8, one leg stand 2 out of 4. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to breath. The results were 0.084 and 0.085. No, Your Honor.
License?
Eligible, Your Honor.
Mr. Shafi, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. We're going to randomly test you. For find that you're using alcohol or any illegal drugs, you will go to jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand? You speak English, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. You'll get with Fleischer for your bond conditions, and after that, you'll be free to go. Don't wait on your lawyer search. Get on it quick. There's a lot of timing requirements.
He didn't show up yet. I hired them yesterday.
Who?
Dunham and Jones. And some attorney named Darrell was supposed to be here.
I don't see anything filed. We can wait a little bit. A lot of times they go to a bunch of other courts. I know that they're very busy. So, I mean, eventually they'll get here. Just be patient. We'll have you sign all the documents. That way you're ready with that. And then we'll just wait for them to get here. So if you'd be so kind just to wait in the pew over there, we'll wait. Okay? Okay, please. Sorry? Yeah, he has a license.
All right, Judge, next is the printout. Santana, come on up.
I've got two, right? We've got this
Santana.
and then Miss Moore.
Okay. Ms. Moore's an open warrant.
Got it. Okay. Are you Jose Jesus Santana?
Yes, sir.
You have the information.
Yes, Judge.
All right, so Mr. Santana, you're charged with unlawful restraint. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On October 29th, 2024, officers were dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas, regarding a disturbance in an unknown weapon. Upon arrival, the officers met with the witness, who stated the defendant and the complainant's child came to his door asking for help, stating that the defendant was fighting with the complainant and he had locked her in the bedroom. Upon the officer's arrival, the defendant released the complainant after at least 15 minutes of confinement, and the officers observed the complainant with bloodshot eyes, appearing to have been crying and was visibly upset. The complainant advised that she and the defendant got into a verbal argument, and when she attempted to leave, the defendant got in front of her, closed and blocked the door, and the complainant advised that the defendant ignored her repeated pleas that he release her. The defendant pushed the complainant back away from the door repeatedly, grabbed her, holding her in place, and then took her to the bathroom and pushed her up against the wall. The defendant then punched the mirror, shattering the glass, a piece of which fell and cut the complainant's right hand. The complainant had told the officers she is afraid for her safety and she would like a mow it.
Judge, this complainant has been a complainant in a previous case, another AFM in 2021, in which the defendant was put on.
What happened with the deferred? Did he complete it successfully?
It looks like it was terminated, Judge.
You spoken to her?
I have spoken to her. She reached out to us yesterday because the defendant had contacted her as soon as he got out. He was released from jail, and she contacted our office very frantic. And that's why we asked him, Victoria asked him to come here today, because the complainant really wants the mow outside.
Putting a monitor on your ankle, Mr. Santana. I don't want you going anywhere near her, and I'm going to restrict your movement as well. If I find that you go anywhere near this person within 1,000 feet of where she lives or where she works, I'm going to put you in jail, and I'm going to make your bond sky high. Do you understand?
Sure.
You're not to have any contact with this person, not to be in possession of weapons, not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, and I'm going to test you to make sure that you're not using. Do you understand? I'm entering in what's called a magistrate's order for emergency protection. This is a court order that identifies Ms. Salcedo as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person. Commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot stalk, threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon. This usually goes within it, has a 200 feet residential and employment restriction. I'm making it 1,000. Do you understand?
Can I ask a question? What about my kids? Like,
You're going to have to use someone else. You will have to use an intermediary to get access to your kids. You cannot have any contact with this person.
no, not with her, but picking them up from the house.
Someone else. You have a child with this person?
I have all my kids, 4.
You have 4 kids with this person. You're going to have to use someone else. So let's do this. Do you have you have her phone number now?
I do.
Can you reach out to her now and see if there is someone that she trusts, an intermediary, to help facilitate, exchanges with the kids? That way we know he has this one person that she feels comfortable with to be able to exchange kids.
Yeah, I know that she did mention someone to me yesterday. She is a teacher at a school, so I have no guarantee that she'll pick up the phone right this instant, but I will.
It's okay. I mean, right, let's try it.
Yeah.
If you can, great. If not, we'll have to find some other workable solution. I want you to have access to your kids. You should have access to your kids, but I just don't want you to have any contact with this person. That's it. And I don't want you to use, oh, I've got kids. I use that as an excuse to try to make any kind of contact with this person whatsoever.
So what if she contacts me?
You hang up the phone. I'm going to tell her now not to have contact with you. So I'm going to have to advise the DAs to call her and tell her not to have contact with you. If she calls you, don't pick up. If she calls you from an unknown number and you answer the phone and it's her, hang up. If she texts you, don't reply. If she emails you, don't reply. If she comes to your house, don't open the door. I seriously doubt that these things are going to happen because as it sounds, she's pretty scared of you. So
We've been together 19 years and
Judge, she advised me that they broke up 2 years ago. He's a truck driver and doesn't really come by the house often anyway. She just hasn't moved out of the house, but she was in the process of moving out. And he discovered that, and that's what he got angry about, which is what the CW told me. I'm gonna go ahead and give her a call and let her know what you said. Judge, just give me 5 minutes.
Yeah, look, there's no rush. Take your time. You know, the other thing is this, is that in the MOA, if she doesn't want him to know the address, we can just put any address and we don't list it in the MOA so that he doesn't know where the address is. And then we can find a mutually, I guess, a mutually agreed to location where you guys can exchange the kids. She'll have someone else to take the kids to that location. That way you can get them, you know, for an agreed upon time for however long it may be, you know. There's always a way to be able to do this without you having to go to jail. I mean, if you go to jail, it's because you've done something to violate these conditions. I don't get off on putting people in jail. I just want my public safe. That's all I want.
I have one more question, sir.
Shoot.
She said I'm a truck driver.
It works everywhere all over the United States.
Okay.
Yeah, I want assurance that you're not going to go over there. You're not going to try to do anything with this person. We have enough death and destruction in Harris County. I'm trying to prevent any more from happening. Okay. And I will even pay for it for you so that there's no excuse. That's about a $400 bill that I'm going to eat every month so that you don't have to, you know, pay for it. So I want you to understand that money is never an excuse. It's just, as long as you can abide by these conditions, you'll be fine with us. That's it. Have you signed the order for protection? We'll have you sign a reset and then we'll just have you take your signature box. Can you file also no contact and no weapons, please?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Anna. Come on up. Yes, ma'am.
I'm approaching, the last name is Amy, A-M-Y. He's in custody.
Okay.
Can we hear PC on this one, Judge?
Sure, of course.
Yes, sir. The officer observed the defendant speaking to 2 other individuals and conducting a hand-to-hand transaction. The officer stopped his vehicle near the defendant, and when the defendant saw the officer, he started leaving on his bicycle. The officer began to follow the defendant, and the defendant actively avoided the officer by changing directions frequently. The officer stopped the car and told the defendant to stop. The defendant continued to flee until losing his balance on his bike, and the defendant stated he did try to flee because he had an active parole warrant. So
what was he doing wrong?
The officer observed what appeared to be a hand-to-hand narcotics transaction.
Okay. Was the other person doing it? Did he do it?
It was.
Did they find any dope?
They found any dope, but what they did observe was him on his bike and stopping with someone else.
And didn't even notify himself as police. You know, one of the conditions on an evading arrest is you have to notify that you're a police, that you're a police officer. You can't just yell, stop.
All right, let me see the dims.
Sure.
You have that the officer was riding in a marked patrol vehicle as he was following the defendant. So there is that, as well as.
Does that imply?
My client was on a bicycle. He was riding a bike.
And that's when they were following him in the marked patrol vehicle while he was on his bicycle and then yelling at him to stop.
Did they find any evidence of a narcotics transaction? They obviously didn't find him with any dope. Did they find him with like a large cash? And then let's look at the statute. What is your argument?
Well, my argument is that he was just riding his bike. In the DIMS, it does say, and I quote, oh, where did I just lost it? The defendant looked at me and attempted to flee. I don't know how you attempt to flee.
Well, I guess just go the other way from him.
That's fleeing though.
And then it says in the DIMS as well that the officer observed the defendant look at the marked patrol vehicle and then change directions as he viewed.
You know how many people do that? You know how many people just look at a police car? I do it too.
Yes, Your Honor.
He's also riding
here too.
He's riding a bicycle. He needs to pay attention to traffic.
And Your Honor, the only thing is that that took place after the what appeared to be a hand-to-hand narcotics transaction. That's what the officer wrote in the DIMS.
Yeah, I'm not buying it. All right,
Yes,
no
Judge.
problem.
Yes, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
All
Maybe.
right, yes, ma'am.
Can you sign a transfer order?
Was there a blue warrant already or what?
He has a blue warrant. I believe it's from this case based on the date of the hold, but I do not have that information. And I don't know if you can tell that.
You know, I only see the hold places on 10/27. So, so I guess it also depend on how he was doing while he was on, whether they're gonna actually release that hold or not.
But that's
Yeah,
someone else's.
right.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
I can address those questions.
Okay. Come up.
So the defendant and complainant's eldest daughter is 17 years old. She drives, she has a driver's license. The complainant trusts her to act as an intermediary.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
That helps.
she also did give me the name of a friend who, her name is Figueroa. She trusts her as well. And so if the.
As long as, I mean, so we have this, your oldest, I guess, is a 17-year-old. She drives. So we can use her as the intermediary to be able to help you get access to all the kids, you know? I think that'll work great. So I'm not preventing you access from any of your kids. I just don't want you to have contact with her. So if your 17-year-old has a cell phone, which I'm sure she does, right? Call her. Right, and you can use her to be able to, you know, see and speak to everybody else. Just don't, under any reason, have any contact with her whatsoever.
And she did say that if he ever needs to go to the home or anything, she'll leave the house so that he
That's
can
right.
temporarily go in. So she's being very cooperative and understanding.
That was my question, yeah, because I'm never home.
But you can't do that. We've got
Yeah.
an order for protection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's either there or it's not.
Okay.
So I don't want to have so many blurred lines that they're, you know what I mean?
So
So
just to make it clear, he
now
can't have
I don't want
access
you to go back to this house for the time being. I don't want you to go back to this house. I don't want you to accidentally pop in and she's there and then everything goes
No, no,
haywire.
no, but it's just when she's not there, like.
No.
Because she told my daughter this morning, like, I'm about to leave out of town. And she told my daughter, well, to her dad to come in. She said, work, get his clothes and get whatever I need. And
Don't go back to this house.
how much stuff is there, Mars?
You're gonna have to use someone else to get it. Don't go back to this house. Don't. I don't want something to happen where she's accidentally there and you think that she's not there and you go and then boom. Don't. I'm trying to prevent anything worse from happening. That's it. All right?
I'll use my daughter.
All right. We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire lawyers. So we'll have you sign all these bond conditions and after that you'll be free to go. But hold on a second because you're going to have to sign the order for protection. You don't need to file anything because we're going to have him monitor over there. So that way, okay?
Sounds good, Judge.
All right, bud. So we'll have you sign a reset and then we'll have you meet with Fleischer here momentarily. Okay? Counsel. Yes, sir.
Here on Chris Chavez.
Mr. Shires, come up.
And before we proceed on the bond issue, I do want to make the court aware that I have spoken to Attorney Haddad and showed him some evidence, provided evidence to him, in which he extended an offer of a 1-month PTI with 2 classes, one an anger management class and the other thanking for a change class, which we've accepted pending this court's approval.
I never have a problem with someone working a deal to where, you know, a case gets dismissed. Yeah, I like that, right? Because I want people to better themselves. But you're here now on another bond violation. Another bond violation. How do we get through to you that you understand we mean business? You don't get to do things your way when you have an open criminal case. You have bond conditions, you're supposed to follow those bond conditions.
I don't know the exact details. I've reached out to the pretrial services and asked for like the exact
Find out
details.
now, as soon as she's done with this, gentlemen, we'll find out. 'Cause
And my understanding was like a few minutes, maybe 10 minutes late home. And I understand 10 o'clock is 10 o'clock, Judge, but it wasn't like last time where he was in and out of the house at all hours of the night.
But no means no.
I understand, Judge.
It's not.
Yes, Judge.
This on Mr. Shires. Oh, I see here. Okay, I see. So she wrote here that he has 2 violations. On 10:25, he was 10 minutes late, and then on 10:27, 9 minutes late. Why are you late?
Traffic.
What are you doing?
First, I had a friend, I was helping out his dad. And then my second time, I was helping another friend out, just trying to get some money, helping them on their land.
If I drug test you now, what's going to show up?
I hope I'm clean. Last time.
This isn't hope like you.
Judge, he's been testing at home because he's trying to get his TWIC card and they're waiting for the test to come up clean. So they've been constantly testing. They told me that it seems like it's fading away, but we were only here a couple of weeks ago. So I think it still might show some marijuana in the system, possibly. That's why he says he hopes it would be clean.
So we tested him on 10/8. October 8th, we told him in 40 days he'd be tested again.
Yes, Your Honor. And we have that setting pending.
Late ever again, I'm going to put you in jail. Even a minute. You understand?
Yes, sir.
If you're out there doing whatever you're doing, consider beforehand what you're doing. Am I doing this? Am I going to get home late? We have it there for a reason. And I hope above all else, you are not using any kind of illegal drugs. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There's absolutely no tolerance from now on. Even a minute late, I'm going to take him in. And now I'm still testing him 40 days from that date.
Yes, sir. Understood.
All right. Okay. All right, Mr. Shires, go to it. It would probably behoove you to get all these things done as quick as possible to get this thing dismissed. Do you understand? Okay. All right, guys. That way.
Real quick, on this issue with Moab and the family cases, I practice a lot of family law, and I don't know if to facilitate these visitations and possession of access. Yeah, I don't know if you know that or not, but across the street, we use co-parenting apps. And you may want to, I don't know if you want to consider.
I don't know how that works though.
So it's very easy where there's three main ones that we use. Two of them are free, but they have like in-app purchases that have more comprehensive. The other one is like an annual subscription of like $120 a year. Both parents subscribe to it. It's on their phones. It's an app. Anything that they say they must, like when we have supervised visits, we order people across the street to use that. All communications must be held within there. That has read receipts. So read receipts when the messages were sent, when they were viewed, and if you ever have to come to court, it easily prints out. You don't have to have screenshot after screenshot of messages. So it prints out. You can print out all of them in a PDF.
Is it a way of them being able to talk but still access to the court system so everybody can see what's going on?
So that's the way we pitch it to them, is like, you understand that anything you say here, it potentially the judge will. So there's three of them that we mainly use. One is App Close. That's a free one.
Okay, what is it?
The first one is App Close, APPCLOSE.
Okay.
The other one is Talking Parent. Those are the two free that offer like a basic texting or email service, but then they have other things like calendaring and other, where if they're ordered to pay like medical bills, they can share the medical bill information on that. The third one is more comprehensive. It's called Our Family Wizard. That's the one that has the annual subscription fee.
Which is the best?
Our Family Wizard is the best. But yeah, it's got all the bells and whistles on it.
Thanks. Take a look at it and then see whether that's something that we can actually order for them to do that way.
I've done a lot of my family violence cases that I've come over here for. We've carved out special provisions regarding possession and access and stuff like that in the bullets.
They work. Yeah. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Mr. Whitehead, come on up.
Good morning, Judge.
Steyer, huh?
I have two on your docket. One of them, we're going to do the police since the translator gets here, but the other one, Judge, is Michael Carballo. He's in the box right now.
Mr. Carballo, come back up. Come up. What is the one thing I asked you not to do?
Not to drink, sir.
And what do we have?
I did it, sir.
Mr. Garza. I have no choice. I asked you to do one thing. What'd you do? You're consuming alcohol. It goes with you. Meet with me in back. Alex.
Hey, Michael. Can you sign an MRP and give you that it's on the page?
Done.
Thank you.
Done deal.
Have a second guy though, too. Would you like to, who is your second person?
Judge, it's gonna be, Raul Vasquez.
We're doing a plea on him?
Yeah, Judge, we're gonna do a time serve as soon as the interpreter gets here.
Vámonos para abajo porque si le estás dando la contra al juez es falta de respeto. Escuche, juez. No, yeah, this
Oh, Mr. Whitehead, you know, I want you to understand that I like to help people. I like to help people when they do well, you know, but when they act in a certain way, I'm not going to continue to give them gifts. You know, I want you to understand, quiet. I want you to understand that we mean business here. We're not here to play games. We're not here to make you happy. We're not here to make everybody else happy. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is public safety. And when you continually put the public in danger, and when you continue to mess up, good things are not going to happen. You now have been kicked out of the pretrial intervention program for one reason or the other. I got to imagine, is it drinking?
No, Judge, it was a positive drug test.
Okay. The reason I'm saying this is because of this, Mr. Vasquez, is that what you're doing now is you're pleading guilty to this offense, and your lawyer has, in essence, worked a gift for you that you're not going to end up in jail today. He's worked out an agreement. There's 3 days in jail, credit for the 1 day that you've done. He has also asked me to waive the fines and fees and surcharges that would normally come with this. And I'm thinking to myself, well, why would I do this when you continue to mess up?
Yeah.
I will not. And now I will honor the agreement, the 3 days in jail, credit for 1. But I want you to understand that we mean business, and we're not here to play games like you apparently think we are. You will now be required to pay the fines, fees, surcharges, and court costs. Is this a 0.15 or is this a regular?
0.122.
You will now be required to pay the $3,000 surcharge. You will also be required to pay the $500 and change court costs. And I'm going to tell you now that if you fail to pay it, every $100 you owe, you will sit 1 day in jail. So you can imagine how long you will sit in custody. We will help you to some point, but because you continue to play games, I'm done, and I'm not going to do this again. And if you fail to pay, and if you fail to live up to your side of the bargain, you will be doing a lot of time in jail. And I'm going to tell you now, if you pick up another DWI, everything doubles up. So the next time it's around $7,000 in change. Not to mention a minimum now of 30 days in jail. Anytime you ever get pulled over, an officer will see that you have a prior DWI. And if you smell like alcohol, if you smell like dope, it's probably not going to go well for you if you're in a car. Do you understand?
Yes.
You were giving up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you are not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, it will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. What we're doing today, from now on, it is a minimum of 30 days in jail. Do you understand?
Yes.
If I were you, even if you've had a sip of alcohol, I would not get into a car because you are playing Russian roulette with your life. How much are the courtrooms? That's it? So 3120,
No, 34.
3420. You will be required to pay $3,400, $3,420 in fines and fees. And if you fail to pay it, it's 1 day in jail for every $100 that you owe. Do you understand? I will give you enough time to pay it. I'm going to give you 2 years to pay it. So it'll be around, 130 and change, maybe 140 bucks. But if you don't pay it, I will immediately issue a warrant for your arrest. And I'm going to tell you, like I told you, next time, everything doubles up. Do you understand?
T. Yes.
Plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated, guilty or not guilty?
Culpable. Guilty.
I will find you guilty. I will send it to the agreement. I am going to suspend your license for 180 days. Do not drive until you get a license. All right, see the clerk. Thank you, Mr. Whiteside. We'll send them down for curas and then about noonish. Okay, all right. Thank you. Come on up.
I have Sean Anguiano on docket. He's the one where his mom was here and he took him in custody 2 days ago. We got it set just for today. He said you would release him.
Please. Is mom here?
We've already come up with a PTI agreement.
I saw it. Let's see if he does it. I'm gonna test him again.
Yes. I wanted to make sure, just because he did test positive, let's say if we test him in a week, I would assume.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Like 35 days, 40 days, and if he tests again, oof, I'm not gonna let him out again.
He does complete the PTI conditions.
And this gets dismissed.
Okay, we'll just, okay.
It's over. But that's if he gets it done.
Yes.
How's jail?
Not good.
Great. Makes me very happy. The worse of experience you have, the higher likelihood you have of listening. That's all we're asking you to do, Mr. Anguiano. Your lawyer is asking me to let you out. What assurances do we have that you're not going to use?
Not gonna use. I promise you I won't. I don't know how I can
We did
prove it
last
to you.
time.
I don't know how I can prove it to you, but I'm not gonna use.
How old are you?
18.
I'll give you another chance, Mr. Anguiano, but I'm going to test you in 30 days.
Okay.
30 to 40 days. Is that mom? No? I will test you 30 to 40 days. You test positive on me again, I'm not going to let you out this time. Do you understand?
Sounds good.
You've got a great deal to get this thing dismissed. You don't have to do much. And I'm going to tell you again, if you pick up another one of these cases, it's very possible that they seize and take the car away from whatever you're driving permanently, and you will lose that car. If you want to drive like this, there are certain places in Houston that you can do that. Not on 610, not on 59, not on the tollway. Do you understand?
I understand.
Okay, bud. All right. This goes with you. Not with you, with you. All right, Mr. Anguiano, make me proud.
Thank you. I appreciate
In
it.
high school, right?
I'm getting my GED.
No. You need to make that a part of it as well, man, so that we know this dude gets his GED, you know?
It's part of his bond conditions and he's been studying for the test, so.
Where are you now with it?
I just started about 2 weeks ago. I'm practicing for it.
Okay. I want you back in a week and I want you to show me what you've done to get your GED. I'm not letting you go until you get this GED.
All right.
I'm not gonna sign the dismissal. I'm not gonna sign it. I want you to get your GED. You have the way to get this thing dismissed, but you gotta get your GED first. Do you understand?
I understand.
Okay, so back in a week to 2 weeks to see what he's done. If you've done nothing, it's not gonna go well. It's part of your bond condition. I want to see results when you get back here next time. You understand?
I understand.
All right.
All right,
Done.
thanks, George. We also have, it's an off docket matter.
Yeah, we'll reinstate.
We had Mr. Gayendo yesterday. We set the case for trial. I think it was on the 3rd. State wanted to see if we could just move it because the felony setting is on the 5th. So we're gonna see if we could just roll it a week, the trial setting.
And we have only one other trial setting, and that's the 10th. And then after that, there's no juries until next year.
Okay, could we do the 10th?
Why?
He has pending offers on the felony, and I'm not sure, I've reached out to the felony prosecutor to kind of get an update on whether he's interested in taking those offers, but we are willing to dismiss the misdemeanor if he does take an offer in felony, so we'd like to see.
What's the cost?
251
Okay.
8952.
Yes.
Upstairs, there's a 5-year deferred offer or a 2-year CDC.
All right.
Okay.
You move to the 10th. Let's talk to Romano and let's see. I don't know what else we have. So we'll see, but I'm okay if you want to do that. Just give him time to see but if it doesn't work out upstairs, you know.
Yeah, and
I mean, it's up to you. You're the one that wanted to set it regardless. So it's, if you don't want to
Yes.
set it, you know.
Well, I agreed with the state. I mean, I have no issue with it going another week. So,
I'm cool. It's not a big deal.
okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Hey. Hey.
So, Mr. Brown, for bond violation, not charging the GPS.
Can I talk to them real quick? Second, Abel, please.
Yes, sir.
5 minutes, because it's gonna take a little bit longer.
I'll take a seat.
We're ready?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Ms. Brown, bond violation.
She here? Come up, Miss Brown.
Oh, that's the same charge.
How does she even have it?
No, because she said she's feeling sick. I just gave it to her just in case. She had it just in case it was.
Why are you here?
Is it because my ankle money?
You're not charging it. Battery's dead. Is the battery still dead?
It has evaporated. I'm not sure.
Is it operational or not?
Yes, sir.
I asked you to do one thing. What did I ask you to do? If I drug test you now, what's going to show up? That doesn't mean anything in our line of business. Pregnancy in the line of work that we have doesn't mean anything. I have people here that are still using when they're pregnant and they have no clue what they're doing to their body, what kind of disaster they're creating to a human life, and what kind of lifelong babysitting they're going to have to do, because if you don't treat the baby well while the baby is in your tummy, it's like a little flower, right? Flowers need sunlight, they need food, they need water. And if a flower gets that, they grow into a beautiful flower, right? Same things with a baby. If it doesn't get the love, if it doesn't get the food, the nurturing, the prenatal vitamins, it's not going to grow into the beautiful flower that it normally would. I want to send her for a drug test right now. And then we'll have her come right back. If you fail to go take a drug test, if you fail to come back, it's not going to go well. Do you understand, Miss Brown? Okay, take your seat for a minute.
All right. Quick story. This is actually where, in my line of work, things got difficult because towards the end of that docket, I lost all audio. Here, I can open a camera for you. So what's happening right now is you got to kind of wait on me while I figure just a couple things out. And fix just a couple of things. And yeah, I'm going to try and scrub real quick to the point where we next see that young lady. Okay, there she is. All right, I see what we're doing. I apologize for the delay, ladies and gentlemen. You see what's going on right here behind me. We have the actual stream. I'm hoping everything's going to work out. Let's make sure we can hear things.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right. The audio actually works on this. Let's check out this case.
I'm not happy with it. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. He's in lockout. A court order is a court order. You know, he's in lockout because he failed to go get it calibrated. Not because of this, not because of that, because he didn't call, no. You failed to go get it locked down, or you failed to go get it calibrated. That's why it's in lockout. I send you to go to test, and now you're testing positive for alcohol. Guess what happens now? That's right. Actions have consequences, Mr. Steyer. He goes with you. I'm sorry, but I can't continue to do it, man. It's unacceptable.
Judge, are you revoking his bond? What are you gonna set the new bonds at?
5,001.
5,000 more than the original bond,
Oh,
which is 5,000?
what's it at now? Is it 100?
Let me check.
It's at 100. So 5,001.
So $5,000 bond, okay.
5,001. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Goes with you. All right. Sorry, Kavita, but it's just too much.
Thank you, Judge.
It didn't work out in my favor. They maxed him out.
Maxed him out.
They maxed him out.
Did you give him 20?
Yeah.
Well, keep fighting the good fight.
Thank you.
You know, that's the name of the
Cost
game.
that I
Right?
suffered in trial, so.
It's happened to us all.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to get probation once, and they smacked 25. I was like, so.
Luckily, he's had some credit, so he only has about 8 years.
Okay. So Mr. Butt, come up. You have all these problems with money, all these issues with money, and yet you come in a Gucci jacket. Really? Really? What kind of foolishness is this, Mr. Segumbada? This is, I choose to spend my money where I want to spend it, and I'm not going to spend it on an interlock. That's what that foolishness is.
I had that, this is old stuff.
Everything you tell me goes in one ear, goes out the other ear. Perception. is reality, según Bada.
Sir.
Okay?
Sir.
Anything less? No, it's disingenuous. And basically just, that's all it is, disingenuity. So the deal is this, is that you have a very great program where you have the opportunity to get this thing dismissed and you continue to play games. Is your device in lockout now?
My device.
It's a yes or it's a no.
It's been locked out since last week because it cut down my battery.
No, it's lockout because of one reason, and that's because of money. That's the only reason that what we know of it's in lockout. We called, we checked before you even got here. So we know you're $800 in arrears, and that's why you're in lockout. The only way for you to do it is to get back into good graces with them with either a payment plan or you pay it in full. So this is what we're going to do. I'm not going to play this game anymore.
I'm sorry, sir. I wasn't locked out because of payments. I had a payment plan with them for $120 every month.
Probation fees are.
Yeah, it's just my probation fee.
The device.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with them with payments.
So is he in lockout now or is he not in
He's in
lockout?
lockout
Service.
with the device.
Yeah, I did my service every
They're
month.
not going to lock out the device because of probation fees.
No. Yeah.
It looks like he was blowing low on the device.
Oh,
No, I was
going with the device now.
No, the device was messing up with my battery. So it always messed up my battery. So once my battery cut off, it locked me out. So I have to call them. So this is one thing I've been dealing with it. So I always make sure.
Give you until next week to get the device back in operational status. And if you fail to get it done, you are out of the program. Do you understand? You are lucky that Bioji is nice enough to stay on the case and not withdraw as it is with the games that you're playing with him and now with me. He may take it, but I'm not going to. If you continue to fail to have it, I'm just going to revoke your bond, put you in jail, and give you a 10-day trial setting. That's what's going to happen with your Gucci self. Do you understand?
I understand, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
So today's the first. He has until the 8th to get the device in.
Just to be clear, is it that if he pays the back fees that he can be released from the program? Is that what's keeping him?
No. So what happens is if he gets the device back in from lockout, they want to extend it for 3 months to ensure that he is good because he's been in lockout for all that time.
Okay, so he needs to have a good 3 months of no issues.
If you get it operational within the week, we will extend you for 3 months, but I'm going to put you on notice now. If it ever goes into lockout again, you are out of the program immediately, and I don't care what your excuse is.
I need to understand that this device is messing on my battery.
I'm giving you a week.
They always lock me out. So I always call them or send them email. I'll make sure I always do my service calibration.
Where did you go get the device?
Somewhere in Georgia.
And you need to go back to where you got the device to have it either fixed or exchange it for a different one. Or you get a different car to put it on. Because something is happening that is creating it to go in lockout. If it's not the money, then it's something else. To me, I don't care about excuses.
Probably just get a different car. I'll move it from
whatever you need to do.
Is it possible to go from car to, if it's the issue with it running out the battery, to on person?
No.
Okay.
Because they want to make sure that it's in a car so that if he's driving, he doesn't have alcohol on board. That's the spirit of the program is that you're not consuming alcohol while you're driving. That's it. I will give you a week.
Get a different car, sir.
You need to do whatever you need to do. If you fail to get it done in a week, you must be back here on the 8th, and then we will set your case for trial. If you get it done, then we will extend you for 3 months, but you are on notice now that if it ever goes into lockout again, you will immediately be set for trial, and I don't care what your excuse is.
I'll get a different car.
Understand?
I promise.
So don't wait until Thursday to go try to make everything work. Monday morning, I would immediately go to where you got it to do whatever you need to do to get it fixed. Do you understand?
I'm gonna get a different car and put it different.
Whatever you do doesn't matter to me, Mr. Bada. It doesn't matter. Just do what you need to do to get it working. And then what we'll do is we'll roll this case to Friday, come back. We need proof that he's actually got it done and that it's operational. We're not going to take your word for it. You have to give us proof that it's done. Then we get a 3-month extension and we'll go from there.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you for being so humble in allowing and staying on the case for him.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
He's my brother, same country.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
So Friday, go ahead and ask me to reset Friday the 8th.
Okay, we can do one of two things now. Let me turn this down. We can either go back and I can show you the Hutton case, or we can go forward and we can do the follow-up for the pregnant girl. Which do y'all want? I'm leaning towards the Hutton. That was kind of an
All right, Judge, page 2.
whole thing.
Brown, do we have the results on Brown? They're still pending because she was throwing up. But it looks like she has taken it. It was a failed attempt because she could not survive. Want me to reach out to counsel?
You're good to go.
Judge. Judge, can you hear me?
Yeah, man, where are you, in the club?
No, man, I actually just left and I was trying to get a good Wi-Fi signal and I went to one establishment and their Wi-Fi was trash, and so I had to go to a coffee spot that's like not too far from the courthouse, but I didn't want to keep y'all waiting when I just got the
We have one of your clients now in custody because she just came in. The bond is set at 5,002 because she's missed multiple times.
Your Honor, this is the one, I'm sorry about that, Judge. This is the one that we were doing a mental health eval for, and we're waiting on the results from that mental health evaluation. And I haven't had a chance to talk to her. She's been kind of MIA for a little while, but I was waiting for those results the last time she was supposed to appear. So I'm not sure if they came in. I'm hoping that they have by now. But that can give us a little bit of light on what's going on with Ms. Waters, because I know that's part of her problem.
Vic, what's the cause number, please?
2493120.
Do you mind looking to see if the mental health evaluation's in? Do you get a copy of that when it comes in too? Or have you gotten anything?
I haven't seen anything yet, Judge, but I was hoping by now that's why we had set it to come back on I believe earlier this week is the last time we had a set for forfeiture.
It has not come through on our end, Judge.
It's not in yet.
Okay. Judge, I fear that that's part of our issue. That might be the reason why we're at on the communication, because I know that it was much easier to communicate when she was in custody, but it's been kind of difficult since then.
You want to call back and talk to her and back?
Judge, can I do that for a second? I'm gonna try to call over the holdover and then I'll get right back on.
Do you have the number? Do you need it?
I think it's on the email.
Don't say it out loud now because we're live streaming, but I'll chat it to you if you don't have it.
Can you chat it to me, Judge? I don't think I do.
Yes. Give me a second. What number is it? Victoria's going to email you the number and just come back and let me know when you're ready.
Will do. Thank you, Judge.
Thanks, bud.
When I talked to Ms. Moore, she told me that she has a lawsuit to prepare for today and she needs to be ready for deposition. When I asked her the details of the lawsuit, she told me that that was none of my business. This is, of course, part of the schizophrenia, part of the delusion that I had noticed when she was in custody. That's the reason why I asked for the mental health evaluation. She does seem to have an ability to follow the court's directions when it's given directly to her from the court. That's why she came today for her felony. She was picked up on showing up for her felony. I think that if we give her a court date from the court, she'll come back on that date. I might not be able to communicate with her, but I know she'll come back on that date. It's just a matter of, I know.
Bring up Ms. Moore.
I know that there's definitely an issue with her being in the right state of mind. I definitely would. I'm waiting for that evaluation to complete.
She already did the evaluation, did she not?
She did. We're waiting on the results for it. We thought that we had the results before our court date, but we don't.
Do we have definite confirmation that she actually did it?
I thought that the thing about it is I requested it while she was in custody and I assumed that
How
it
do
was
we
done.
determine if she actually did it?
Because she was in custody when I made that request.
How do we even determine that she actually went and did it?
Well, it was my understanding, Judge, and maybe I was wrong, that when they're in custody, that they come when the request is made and then we do that.
She's been out on bond, and she's been on the lam for who knows how long, and she just happened to come in today. So,
well, if that's the case, I want the evaluation done while she's in custody. If that's the case, I don't mind rolling it to next week just to let it, to let that happen first.
Let me see. Can you set her for mental health event? Or can you look to see if it's been done? Morning, ma'am. How are you? How are you? Hey, Judge, can you go outside? It's really loud over there.
I'm sorry, Judge. This is my Wi-Fi that I'm going to try to see if I can hold on to it outside. I'm going to do that. Give me a second.
What's going on with you, ma'am? Hi.
This, Mr. David, this is something going on with my daughter and her baby daddy.
Okay.
Brandon Cooper, the DAC, that is my daughter's. I have identical twin girls. That is Raquel Dominique Allen's baby daddy. Brandon kidnapped St. Clair. My grandson's name is Braden St. Clair Nelson. Brandon kidnapped my daughter's baby daddy from some apartments on Federal Road back over a year ago. I have nothing to do with Brandon St. Clair Nelson, Cooper, whatever his name is, and my Raquel Dominique Allen's, and with my grandson, Braden St. Clair Nelson. I have nothing to do with that. I was just on the phone with Brandon right now. He said he had talked to the DA and told him that my son's grandmother did not do that. I don't even know why they got me involved with their baby's mama bullshit.
Okay, I think what we.
But I missed court. I thought it was for today. I didn't know because I have another thing going on in 248 with some other idiots.
My concern is that we tried to have you evaluated and talk to a doctor. Did you do that?
No, so I don't know what's going on. Nobody has reached out to me. My phone number is 832.
Don't.
Oh,
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Okay, I don't know. Okay.
So, Judge, I don't think that she's done the evaluation.
Okay. Well, we have to. I want her to be able to do that, Judge. If we can arrange for that to happen now, I mean, then let's have that happen, because I don't think that. I know that competency is an issue.
Michael, how do we set it's a mental health eval.
Yeah, and I see that the competency hearing was on the 29th. I do see a reset. I don't know if it actually occurred, but I see that it was on the 29th.
Where was it supposed to occur? Do you know?
It's supposed to be on the 29th.
Now she's not spoken to anyone.
Yeah, and I guess that was already a moot point, because I thought, Judge, the evaluation. So my understanding, and that's where I went wrong on it. I thought the evaluation had already happened, and we were just coming on the 29th to get the results and to talk about it, right? But the evaluation has never occurred. So if we can schedule for her to have that evaluation now, then we'll be able to work with something, Judge, because there's definitely an issue and there's definitely a disconnect there.
So Judge, you received no information that the hearing occurred or anything like that?
No. Well, we were supposed to have, so I was there on the 29th. Ms. Moore didn't show. That was the day, but that was the day that, yeah.
I ordered it on the 24th of September for it to happen.
Yeah.
Looks like it never happened either for one reason or the other. And I think that maybe because Miss Allen failed to appear on a court date. Let me see. So we reset it to August 29th for the hearing, for the competency hearing. We rolled it to the 30th, and then at that point, we issued the warrant because no one ever showed up those 2 days.
That's what happened.
But in the interim, I don't know how or who would reach out to who for it to actually happen.
I have to talk to Caroline, Judge, and see who handles our mental competency hearings. I mean, I can look into it, but it's probably not gonna happen today.
Right, I get it. But do you mind? That way, at least.
Of course.
Out
Yeah, Judge.
for a date.
No
Where have you
problem.
been?
I'm not knowing, I don't know what's when nobody's calling me. I'm like.
That's right. I get it. It's okay. Look, I'm gonna try to get you a date today. How are you getting from point A to point B? Do you have a car? Do you have?
I have a Mercedes C320.
Man, how you have a Mercedes C320?
God is good.
So why are we giving you a lawyer then?
I don't even know what's going on, Mr. Judge Davis, sir.
No.
Miss Allen, be quiet.
Get your sister, huh?
Miss Allen, just be quiet now, okay?
Can you set up something now, please? And then
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
gonna do, I will give her one opportunity to get this done. If she doesn't, then. But you gotta show up to this thing. You gotta get it done. I'm gonna give you one opportunity to get it done, okay? Don't miss us again.
Let me know the court days, let me know why I want to be here.
It's okay, ma'am. I'm gonna give you the opportunity now. Do you have his phone number?
No.
I'm gonna
because
give
my
it to you
wallet,
now
my
as well.
Louis Vuitton wallet got left in a lift car.
You have a phone?
Yes.
You need to take a picture of it so that you always have it on you. Favorite the photo so it's always there, okay? All right, do you mind? Because I would like, before we leave here today, we can give her a piece of paper with the date on it, so there's no excuse.
Down to Fifth right now, Dr. Caroline, if that's okay.
That's right, yeah, please, Mike, thanks. All right, if you just mind, just take a seat, don't leave. I'm gonna get you a date before you leave out of here today, okay?
Thank you, Mr. Davis. I
I will.
apologize again for missing all these court dates. I don't know what's going on.
We're gonna try to set everything up so that there's no question about anything from now on, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
I'm not trying to say anything. I'm not getting you that, you know.
You're okay, man. You're okay. Judge, will you chat me your cell phone and then I'll reach out to you as soon as I hear something so you don't have to sit here and wait, huh?
Thank you, Judge. I'm sending it to you. Let me send it to you now.
Okay, thanks.
I have Bobby Steyer, Judge. He's
I-
on.
David. Hey.
Okay. We've already seen this next little bit.
Yes.
I just sent it.
Oh, I see. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we'd have to do a deep dive. I don't remember.
Okay. He actually comes back.
It's gonna take some time. So what? Hey, I just got a letter. I just got a letter 2 years ago. It's from Santa Maria.
Matt Roach.
You don't have to ask, just come.
On the mental health issue, we called our connect at the Harris Center and they're extremely backed up. So they don't expedite unless there's a very specific reason. I believe, maybe if you then like, hey, this is urgent.
She was anticipating this, so
Yeah.
what I was gonna suggest is maybe we push it to like Wednesday.
Right.
Have her come back Wednesday, and hopefully by then we can have like a definitive date, and then we can make her,
Yeah.
you know, but.
This isn't a full-blown hearing, right? This is just the eval at the Harris Center.
No,
That's
this
it.
is right. This is a comp hearing. That's
Yeah.
all it is.
Okay.
That's what he's.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's, if you're okay with that, then.
Yeah, of course, but I will just admonish her that, you know,
Gotcha.
so let me call him.
Sweet.
Hey, Judge Hatton,
Yes, sir.
so we couldn't get a date as quick as we had thought that we would get it. It's gonna take some time. So what I was gonna suggest is that we can bring back bring her back maybe like Tuesday. And then we can give her the date on Tuesday and then send her on her way.
Can we do it Wednesday? I'm back in Harris on Wednesday. Can we do
Yeah.
that?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am,
okay.
come on up.
I'll be there on Wednesday.
So hold on a second. I'm bringing her up so that we can talk. Okay, Miss Moore,
Mr. David Fester,
we couldn't get you a date today.
Wednesday.
Can you come back Wednesday and then we'll have you a date for Wednesday and then we'll send you that time? Please come back Wednesday. Come back 9 o'clock in the morning here. You got to be here though, okay? Please don't miss. On your reset, we will give you your lawyer's phone number and we'll circle it so that you have it. If you ever have any problems, call him. And then he can always help you out. He's here with us now on phone. I'm letting you know to come back Wednesday, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
And then we'll see both of you guys then and we'll work it out. Okay? Okay, man.
That was there, sir. Thank you.
See you Wednesday. All right. Come back.
Yeah.
That's time for your reset, please.
I don't have it. Okay, thanks, Judge. We'll see you Wednesday.
Thank you, Judge. I'll see you then.
Take care.
All right, now we're gonna jump forward to the young lady who was sent off for a drug test who was expecting. Here we go.
Yeah, it hasn't been charged and there's been no signal since the 29th. So 72 hours, I believe.
So it's been out for 72 hours?
Yes.
Hello?
Abel,
Yes, sir.
okay, she's back. Miss Brown is back. You got a sec?
Yeah, can I zoom in?
Yeah, for sure. Come on in.
Okay, give me a second.
Come up, Miss Brown. Michael, do you have an offer on this case, on Miss Brown's
This is
case?
Miss Brown, Judge. Let me check.
I mean, it's 500 days old. It's so old that it's grown hair and it's sprouting legs.
This is Lyrindia Brown.
Yes.
Our offer was time served on the ABI, dismiss the criminal mischief. It looks like we had a plea filed on the 23rd of September, but I don't know if it went through.
Judge, I told Abel we were going to.
I called him. Thank you, sir. I have Miss Brown in front of us, and she's failed to charge her device for the last, I guess, 3 days. Why are you not charging your device?
I just got out the hospital Wednesday.
Why were you in the hospital?
Had gallbladder surgery and is making bowel reflux. So I've been sick since October 14th.
Is everything better now?
No, sir.
Why not?
Because they can't do nothing because due to me being too far along in pregnancy. So I just have to deal with it and take the medicine that they gave me.
Did you make sure that the medicine is going to jive with the baby? You got to make sure anything you put in your body now, you've got another life in your tummy. If you take the wrong thing, it'll impact that baby. And the last thing you need is to become a lifelong babysitter because of something you take impacting the baby. There's so many drugs out there that can contradict what it can do to a baby. Anything you put in your body, you got to make sure that it is not going to harm that baby. Taking prenatal vitamins so that you know that the baby is getting enough nutrients as well. So,
Yes.
all right, I'm not going to ding you on it, but I need you to start charging it again.
Yes, sir.
What are we going to do with this case, Abel? It's nearly
Judge,
500 days old.
It's already set for trial, Judge. It's set for trial on December 10th.
Oh, did you know that?
I did, Judge.
It's not your fault. What happened? We were kids.
I didn't cut it off, just to be clear. That was the end. That's where the stream ended. So yeah, it looks like we're done, ladies and gentlemen. We watched pretty much the whole docket tonight, so we don't have a lot to complain about. That was pretty much every case in the docket. The only thing we missed out on were, like some lawyers coming in and out and just doing some resets, that type of stuff. There were a couple of in custodies that were fugitive matters that, they came in, signed a piece of paper, moved out, that type of thing. I think there were a couple of pleas that I skipped over also, but now, you've seen one of those, you've seen 100 just about. Most of the interesting stuff is the probable cause and some of the other discussions of the, some of the regulars we see in-house. But hey, guys, I really appreciate y'all coming out and hanging out for this Fleischer forum get-together. We've been doing this now for 2 weeks. This is pretty fun. I keep on. I think I'm gonna try and keep on doing it more as long as y'all enjoy it. Tomorrow morning, ladies and gentlemen, all Judge Simpson. We have a lot of updates with Judge Simpson. We got a Rosebud update. We got a Heenan update. We have. Oh man, I don't even know how to tell you. I mean, I want to say there's 3, maybe 4 updates tomorrow morning. That's Saturday morning for everybody who's wondering. Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Central Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Time change this weekend? Wait, it doesn't change tonight anyways. Same time, same wolf time tomorrow. Monday's up in the air. Monday we may just start at 8. I'm thinking Monday we'll probably have a bit of a premiere happening at 7 o'clock. And that premiere will last an hour and theoretically roll directly into the live stream on Monday. So, those are the plans for the next few days and the weekend. According to my brilliant mother, the time changes this Sunday, so don't forget about that, ladies and gentlemen. Time changes for us crazy people in the United States of America that can't figure out how to just manage time properly. That's Comcast permitting, of course. That's how that works. It always works. Thank you, everybody, coming out. I'm done. I'm gonna listen to the end of this late night blues. I'm checking out for the evening. You guys are the best. Hope to see y'all tomorrow morning. Got work to do before we can have that show. But I'll have it scheduled here before long. A little bit of preview for you. See you next time. I'm your Lone Wolf Usul, and I'm out of here.
Thank you.